I hope I'm having bad allergies today because I really don't want to be sick. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla King of the Monsters news and updates. Chapter times in the description below. Skip to whichever story you want. We all know you're going to skip to the end, but for those of you who don't, let's get into it. Before we begin here, let's wish Godzilla a happy 65th birthday. I think there is some sort of October release date for like the first ever time Godzilla was like pre-screened or whatever they did back then, or for the premiere of Godzilla. Maybe some sort of October release date, but I think the reason Toho released these 65-year anniversary pics now is because November 3rd is coming up real quick, and that is Godzilla's official anniversary. That was the release date for the original 1954 movie in Japan, so we got some cool pictures to celebrate that. Also, another birthday, we got to give a birthday shout out to Ken Watanabe, who plays Dr. Serizawa in the MonsterVerse. It's his birthday today on October 21st, so happy birthday. I know you're not watching. There's some cool news here. Apparently, NASA decided that Godzilla's worthy of becoming a star. It's about time he gets some recognition, right? Yeah, there is an official Godzilla Constellation now. That's pretty cool. You know, you can see the stars. It kind of just looks like a random assortment of dots, which is kind of how all constellations are. They don't really look like anything, and then someone just draws a weirdly shaped picture and says, nope, they're connected via this somehow, even though it's an unreasonable way to connect the dots. But whatever, more power to you, NASA. I appreciate Godzilla getting his own constellation. That's pretty cool. I don't know how to say this guy. You know, I got his name linked down below, and maybe I'll have it on screen. But we got some cool fan art coming to us from it. He didn't send it to us, but I found it from this guy. It's pretty sweet. You know, it's a little goofy picture of your modern Godzilla trio, and it was pointing out how Godzilla Earth is the only one to walk away unscathed in both his battles. He's pretty beat up in City on the Edge of Battle, and he gets killed in Monster Planet. Godzilla Phileas does, so I wouldn't say he walks away unscathed, but yeah, he certainly is much more powerful than both Shin Godzilla and Godzilla 2014. That's for sure. We have a beautiful picture here that comes to us from Lewis M. It is a picture of Godzilla in the mountains. This is awesome. I love this. In addition to that, we have some cool Godzilla trailer art done by Alan BRV. Really cool here as well. I like this. It almost looks like, you know, comic book panels. It looks really cool. There's a beautiful Rodan art piece that I've seen a lot recently, but I haven't quite found the source for this. I believe it's a GNA, but it might not be because it doesn't quite look as blurry as his look. His are usually like stylistically blurry. This one is a little more clear than his normal work, so I'm not sure if this is him. I think it is, though. I think this is GNA. Thrashmaster666 did a Godzilla fan poster. This one's really cool, like really cool. I love this. Great detail here, great coloration. This is awesome. This is like a great phone background or wallpaper. A lot of you guys have been sending me this one as well, of Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah with Mothra fighting Rodan in the background. It's awesome. This is beautifully done. I don't know who the source is for this one, so I do apologize. If anyone knows, let me know so I can add it to the description below. But this is a really cool piece as well. I'm a big fan of it. Finally, we have Dope Pope's photorealistic Godzilla coming out of the sea. This is, of course, your legendary Godzilla popping up, popping his head out of the water. Looks amazing. The Godzilla King of the Monsters cast has a little goofy picture here. I believe this was taken around the time of San Diego Comic-Con, just them all celebrating SDCC. But regardless, I haven't covered it until now, so there you go. I talked about it and I can move on. There's a nice little podcast clip I have linked down below. I think it's only like 7 minutes long or something like that. Maybe it's more like 11 minutes long. It comes to us from a podcast called Postmortem, and this is an interview featuring Michael Dougherty in which he talks about his experience with Godzilla, how he grew up with it, why he appreciates it. It's pretty interesting. I would give it a listen. The most interesting part comes when he talks about how it is all up on him to design the brand new monsters in this movie that won't be Toho monsters. He does talk quite a bit about it. He doesn't give any details about what they'll look like or how how many there will be, but he does talk about how there will be numerous more monsters appearing in the movie and how he is going to be designing them. If you're really heavy into the leaks, you kind of already know what he's talking about, but if you're not, I'm not going to say anything here. I would have preferred to not know what it is myself, but that's already, it's too late for me. I already know what he's referring to, assuming the leaks are correct. But for those of you who don't, you can find it on your own. I'm not gonna say it here because I don't want to. LA Comic-Con is coming up this October. I think it's next weekend. In it, there will be a Godzilla Secrets of the MonsterVerse panel in which the secrets of the MonsterVerse are discovered. No, it's a panel talking about the comics for Godzilla. It's going to be talking about Godzilla Awakening, what's canon, what's not, some clarification on what's going on with that. Hopefully they tell us, because that's a horrible comic. I don't consider it canon. Very few of the ideas in there even are relevant to the MonsterVerse, but maybe they'll give us some insight. They will be talking about Skull Island Birth of Kong, which we do know is canon, so it'll be cool to hear more about that. And they will also be talking about the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters prequel novel, the prequel graphic novel, that will be coming out some point before the movie does. Maybe it's after. Is it in July? I don't remember. I honestly do not remember, but it's okay because you can remember. I have it linked down below. I have the official Amazon link for it. It's $25. You can pre-order it now. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I certainly will get it before it comes out because I definitely got to review it right away. So that is linked down below. You can go check it out and you'll find out what the release date is. I could pull it up now, but my internet's really slow and I don't want to do that. Total Film Magazine did some Godzilla King of the Monsters coverage. This is the big news. This is what most of you guys probably skipped to, I'd assume. So what did they do? They interviewed Michael Dougherty. It seems like they may have interviewed Millie Bobby Brown. I don't quite know, though. They have a quote from her in which she talks about how Madison Russell and Mothra will have a special connection in this movie. We already kind of know about that. A lot of us are assuming what's going to happen is Madison Russell will touch the head of Mothra, and then they'll be psychically linked. It'll be a good way to tie in the mythos of the character. Michael Dougherty does confirm that Mothra will have the mythological aspect of the character carried over into this movie, and it'll also be a good way to modernize it so that it's not two tiny little twin fairy girls. I'm all for that. That's fine with me. If Mothra has some sort of magic power and she bonds with Millie Bobby Brown's character, I'm totally cool with that. That's kind of what I wanted to happen. Other than that, though, the interview talks mostly about how Michael Dougherty grew up watching the movies. He's a big fan of Godzilla. He especially loves Rodan. He wants to give some Rodan love. He calls himself a Rodan warrior. That's what the magazine article is called, Rodan Warriors. I always say when people are talking about what genre or what series do you love the most? Heisei Millennium? No, I'm a Showa warrior for life. So it's cool that he's a Rodan warrior. I'm a Showa warrior. I don't discriminate against my kaiju. I just discriminate against the series. But it's a pretty cool article, so I definitely recommend going and checking it out. Once again, link down below. You can look for it there. The big thing that came out of it, though, because I don't think there's any other big reveals that come out of this article. It's mostly just Michael Dougherty talking about how he likes Godzilla, and it's only like a half page long, so for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not going to read it, come on, it's a half a page long. The big reveal that came out of it is the still image from Godzilla King of the Monsters showing off King Ghidorah's foot. Now, we did see this foot before. We've seen it in the trailer. However, we've seen it in a very far pulled back shot, you know, the one of Ghidorah frozen in ice. There's a lot more to learn here. This is definitely a different scene than that. There's a lot more to learn here, and we'll take a look at the picture, and we'll break down what there is to break down and see if there's anything interesting going on. There is. So here I have it pulled up. We're looking at it. It is a picture of some people standing on some scaffolding as Ghidorah is frozen in the background. I would assume this comes at an integral point in the plot, and by that I mean I would assume this comes at around the time Ghidorah frees himself. If you look here, there's quite a bit going on in this tiny little image. First of all, you have two guards pointing guns on opposite ends of the scaffolding. I think they're blocking off the path that Madison Russell, who I think is who we see here, and Emma Russell, who I think we see here, are trying to take. I think they're trying to escape the guards. They're getting blocked off here, and I think this is when they're going to have to release Ghidorah. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I think that is what's happening here. In the background, you do see Ghidorah's big old foot. This could be like a talon on his wings. Maybe this Ghidorah will have Rodan-like talons on his wings. I would assume not. I would assume this is a foot. And if it is a foot, that means he's going to be very flexible based off the positioning of how he's frozen, but I would assume this is a foot. There's a little dot here frozen in the ice as well that I'm not sure what that is. It could be one of Ghidorah's eyes poking out. Maybe it's one of his eyes just opening up, but I would think that that's unlikely. I think it's maybe a drill site where they drilled in. It looks to have a red ring around it, maybe indicating some sort of heat or melting going on. I don't think that's an eye because it's way too small. That eye is smaller than a human head. that just seems too small for Ghidorah's eyes. Unless he's going to have, like, planet eater eyes, I don't think that's what we're looking at here. Also, his head's, they're not really in position for that to be an eye based off what we've seen in the other trailer. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's anything important. I think the big important thing about this picture that, you know, some people have pointed out, most people are just looking at the foot. I think the big important thing here is Madison and Emma Russell in their little conflict down at the bottom here where the guards are pointing guns at them. I think that's the main importance of this picture, and I think that's where the most attention in the scene will be. And I do feel like this could be the only way they have to escape is to release Ghidorah. Maybe that's what gets Madison Russell all mad. She's like, really, Mom, there was a way out that we didn't have to release the devil, basically. You're a monster, and then it ties everything together from what we've seen in the other trailers. That could be a scenario where you have Emma Russell do the wrong thing, but for the right reason, as opposed to what a lot of us are thinking is going to happen, where she's going to release Ghidorah under her own free will. Ghidorah is going to be evil. Charles Dance is going to somehow win Emma Russell over. She's going to be a good guy at the start. He'll win her over, and then she'll be a bad guy. You're a monster. That line comes in because Madison Russell is super mad that Emma Russell switched sides, and that's the situation we're going with for the movie. Either way, though, I'd be interested to know what you guys thought of this picture. Let me know down below. Is there anything that I missed? I would appreciate you letting me know. So comment down below and tell me. What I think this all means, though, why I think we're getting all this information all of a sudden, the still image especially, I think a trailer is on the horizon. I think we're getting a new trailer soon. I'm not going to say right away. I'm not going to confirm it, obviously. But I think it's likely that we'll get another trailer. Every other trailer that came out at Comic-Con, every other movie that came out at SDCC, other than Shazam, to my knowledge, has gotten a second trailer. King of the Monsters hasn't, and it would make sense that it hasn't because it's the furthest away, so it's understandable that we haven't gotten a second King of the Monsters trailer, but a lot of the time when a movie releases still images, it's a good indication that a trailer is on the horizon. I would say that a safe bet for a second trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters is December to January. I don't think we're going to get it in October because we're almost done with the month and it's just too late. I don't think we're going to get it in November. I think we'll get it in December or January. Probably December. There's probably some big movie coming out in December, Aquaman maybe, that Legendary is going to want the trailer to play in front of. Because that's usually what happens. Usually a trailer will come out in time for a big movie to come out so that the trailer can play in front of the big movie. Now, if that does wind up being the case, then we will get a trailer for King of the Monsters here in November, December, that range. But if there's a movie coming out in late December, early January, or late December, late January, I think the trailer could be pushed to December, January range. Maybe I'm an idiot and there won't be a trailer on the horizon. Maybe this is just one of those rare cases where they're releasing a still image just to get hype or just to spread awareness of the movie without releasing a trailer. Maybe another trailer is months and months down the line. We won't get it till March. That's always a possibility too, you know? What do I know? I'm just a guy who talks about Godzilla movies on the internet. That's all I am. I'm not a studio insider, so I'm not going to give you any studio insight in this video. I don't know what I'm saying. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. D-Man, out.